Footballers can be some of the most beloved athletes in the world, with some gaining superstar status, while others not so much. And in the blink of an eye, everything can change. Today, we'll be going over some of the most hated footballers, starting with Loris Karius. He went from being Liverpool's first goalkeeper to being a traitor in Liverpool fans' eyes. Every football player and fan hears his name, and it feels like a horror when we can remember the 2018 UEFA Champions League final, Real Madrid versus Liverpool, where Gareth Bale was a man of the match thanks to the 29-year-old who made a lot of mistakes, including making an error, giving Benzema a gift goal, and letting in very easy goals from Gareth Bale, making Liverpool fans refer to him as a traitor, and they sent him and his family death threats. However, 24 hours after the game, Loris Karius posted on Instagram stating a heartbreaking and emotional apology, saying, "Haven't slept until now. The scenes are still running through my head again and again. I'm infinitely sorry to my teammates, for you fans, and all of the staff." He made his first appearance after 2 years in Newcastle, with Nick Pope suspended and Martin de Vrij disqualified for the Carabao Cup final versus Man United, where the world got to see him again, even though they lost. But nothing compares to Harry Maguire. He went from being one of the most expensive transfer for a center back to receiving death threats. Manchester United's former captain is the most hated Manchester United player of all time. Why? Harry Maguire was once on top of the world after the record-breaking transfer of a stunning price of £80 million from Leicester to Manchester United. A lot of money for one transfer comes with a lot of expectations from the fans, coach, and the club players. In the first year during Maguire's season at Manchester United, during the preseason, he was arrested by the police in Greece. The first impression was that they saw him having a bad attitude. Harry Maguire received a lot of criticism from fans and football player analysts. Maguire started with errors and was well noticed by Premier League players to be slow, missing a lot of interceptions and having poor tackles. This led him to receive a death threat after being told that his house would be detonated if he didn't leave Manchester United within 3 days. Many analysts concluded that the real reason for Maguire's underperformance is the team style, whereby he needed a holding midfielder to protect the defense, which answers the reason why he's been performing great for England and so bad for Manchester United. Luis Suarez is one of the best strikers of this generation, and his hate story started in 2010 when Uruguay played against Ghana. In the last minute of the 128 minute, a Ghanaian player shot the ball towards the free goal, but he caught the ball with his arm while the ball was almost crossing the line. And yes, he was sent off, but Ghana ended up losing the penalty, denying an African club qualification to the World Cup semi-final. Luis Suarez, a Dracula in disguise, got more hate in 2014. Suarez made the ugliest and most unforgettable moment when he bit the shoulder of Chiellini, an Italian center-off, where he was sent off for inappropriate behavior, receiving a lifelong ban from football. This also wasn't the first time he bit another football player. Luis Suarez was again responsible for diving and biting Ivanovic in a Premier League game against Chelsea in 2013. But nothing compares to Neymar Jr. The Brazilian was once the future of football, as there was a time when he was on the Messi versus Ronaldo discussion. So what happened to him? Neymarzito, as people used to call him, was Barcelona's next big thing, as he was one of the best trio of all. The MSN, Messi, Suarez, Neymar. Many football fans say that the skillster ruined football because of his record-breaking $222 million transfer from Barcelona to PSG. This was the first time that the record fee was paid by a French club. The truth is, he followed the money, as many claim that he betrayed MSN and Barcelona fans at most. The 31-year-old is the world's most famous divers. A touch or even look at him will surely dive and look for a free kick. There are many times where he had been sent off because of faking a dive. Maybe he should just try scuba diving. And now, ROMELU Lukaku. His Chelsea transfer back cost the team $122 million. Big money transfer comes with great goals expected, but this was not the case. LUKAKU, as many called him, struggled in Chelsea, scoring only 5 goals in 23 games. He later went to do an interview and said that he just isn't comfortable in Chelsea and wants to return to Inter Milan, claiming his transfer to Chelsea was a mistake. A bigger mistake was Raheem Sterling. This English star gained most of the hate when he transferred from Liverpool to Manchester City, many claiming he followed the money. The media continued spoiling Sterling's name in public, as they called him proud of how he uses his money, or a bad role model for kids because of his AK-47 tattoo on his right leg. The 27-year-old is also famous for missing quite a lot of goals while he was at Manchester City. There was a time where he had the last-minute tap-in goal on Champions League versus Lyon, and Sterling missed the easiest goal in football. Even my grandma would tap that in. Not forgetting he's the Premier League's top diver. Just a slight contact and he dives like he hasn't been hit by a truck. There's a lot more players not covered, but to not end up on this list, just make sure to control your balls and subscribe for more football content.